The Zanzibar archipelago, made up of a group of 2 islands off the east coast of Tanzania, lives in a state of moderate autonomy compared to the capital city of Dar es Salaam on the neighbouring continent. The port of Stone Town in the Malindi district is a hive of activity bustling with animation at all hours of the day. The umbilical cord which links the town of Myths to Africa is strikingly apparent from the first visit to its docks, where materials, foodstuffs and cargoes of all kinds lie in wait. Sitting back to back with the modern infrastructures, the old port plays host to a myriad of junks as relics of a bygone age. The majority of them are dedicated to carrying goods and produce, giving the island an opportunity to export locally produced wares to the continent. For various spices, in particular cloves, rice, coconuts and copra, this is a less expensive means of marketing their wares than by stocking them up in the wharves of the neighbouring capital. All means are good for bringing produce to the docks. Even overloaded taxis are used to transport coconuts. The owners watch closely over the careful placing of the wares in the holds, and they will personally make the crossing on the junk alongside the crew. The majority of the boats looked elaborate, as if they're rotting away, but several much more recently built boats bear testimony to the fact that the boat building yards still survive. And if the rumour is to be believed, several sites still manufacture junks to the north of the island in a small fishing village where the art of boat building is passed down from father to son. At the extreme north of the island, by the edge of the sea, lies Nunge, a small fishing village. The fishermen make ready their junks moored on the nearby water. Guided by the sound of hammering, we quickly discover hulls of boats under construction lying on the sand. Finding the owner does not involve a long drawn-out process, for it is he that looks on and supervises the work.
For the year I make 10 boats, but now since I have been here I made many boats. I think more than 100 boats, because now 15 years since I have been here. Different, sometimes we make the boat for the fishermen, sometimes for the tourists, but many of the boats for the fishermen. We make a different size, because some people they prefer small one, and some people they need size medium, and others they need bigger. So we make different size. Some of them only here, but others they go out of the. Some of them even they go to fish out of Zanzibar, near the mainland. The price depends on what size of the boat. So the boat size, like this size, this 3 million shillings. So this is a medium. But if we are smaller than this, 2 million. Also the big one, more than this, 4 million shillings. So the price depends on the size of the boat. Sometimes we make the big one 30 million shillings because they're bigger. So the price of the fisherman boat is lower than the tourist, because the materials usually they're different, because the tourists they need a good wood, nice wood, But if fishermen, you can use any kind of the wood. So we divide into 3 parts. I pay the workmen just to have the food, to feed their family. Only 5,000 shillings is enough. You know that I'm not a rich man. I'm a poor man because even you saw that you see that it is plenty of money we have for the one boat. But we have to buy materials, and the materials now is expensive one. Expensive. We have to import it from the mainland. Here Zanzibar there are no timber, so now we have to import it from Pemba, from the mainland, to pay the men to go there and bring it here. So they are poor men. Everything we have, just we feed our family and no nothing.
The tools and methods used to file and sand down these boats seem to belong to another age. The workmanship of the builders is excellent. Unravelling such fine wood shavings with a pickaxe or fashioning perfectly calibrated beams are completely natural gestures for them. The village's flotilla seems to be slumbering, with just a few men going about their business on the boats. It's the time to prepare for the day ahead for them, and in the lagoon the women are busy combing the lengths of the beach with their nets in order to contribute to the mass of the daily catch of fish. Depending on the size of the fishing boat, the distance sailed at sea in order to catch the fish vary greatly. Many medium-sized junks make a daily voyage in order to bring back a catch to the afternoon market. Being busy with a routine maintenance check, our crew couldn't cast its nets this morning. Such last-time problems leaves little hope for the men to bring back a catch, but leave they must.
Chapita. Lo bafungule hivyo. Kabla sana jadiliana hiyo.
To leave the bay and catch a sea breeze, the captain uses the engine. The vessel is ageless, and from the colour of the hull to the general state of the boat, it is easy to realise that a complete overhaul is overdue.
Kiingereza wao.
Wanazungumza
Kiingereza bado amekwambia no speak. Sisi tumewambia
not that time.
no speak English.
The doubtful nature of the boat's watertightness is rapidly confirmed by an alarming amount of water seeping into the hull. This doesn't surprise the crew anymore, and there is no option left but to bail out. The captain is not the boat's owner, and he would naturally wish to take better care of the vessel, but it's the owner who decides, and here as elsewhere, profitability wins out over the sailor's comfort and security. Constructed for the high seas, these trawler-like sailing boats have on board massive nets, several sails, and all the material necessary for a prolonged spell at sea. With 4 or 5 men sharing such restricted quarters, it is necessary to be very organized and disciplined when it comes to task sharing. Setting the mainsail, stowing sounding equipment, radar, spreading the load in the holds to ensure stability, and of course letting out the nets are all activities that keep the crew fully occupied the whole day long.
Udah selesai lagi mesin.
For this afternoon's fishing trip, the crew weren't very lucky. Was it our presence that frightened off the fish? In any case, the hauling in of the nets revealed no fish, and the return journey was made in morose silence.
Ufunga kama ile pale ile ufunga pale mgotini pale mseli.
All around, the other boats who had set sail that morning were setting course for the beach. Proof, said the captain, that they had surely had more luck with their catches. One by one, the crews reached the beach and weigh anchor on the sandy flats or bars of coral. The offloading of fish can now begin. From all around, the men offload their catches and converge towards the village, pulling or carrying their bags filled with fish. They won't have far to go, as nearby in a covered area by the beach, the auction has already started. Every day it's the same ritual, bringing the women, children and old folk together. In the front row, the fishermen wait with the fruit of their day's labour at their feet. The village elder takes the role of the auctioneer, and he invites the men one by one to unravel the contents of their bags. The fish merchants, often negotiators who come from the capital, or restaurateurs, admire the catches. At last the auction can begin. All of the players take part in the sale. The bidding progresses at a fast speed, and in no time at all, a deal is clinched. Looking from the outside, it seems that the auctioneer who handles the sale with a firm but fair hand is paid the greatest respect. Numerous types of fish are caught, ranging from small amounts to much more imposing ones. Sardines, calamars, dorades, barracudas and tuna are sold, but not without preliminary discussions, and several fish are taken by the crew as a form of payment. As soon as they are sold, the fish are taken away, and little by little the site empties, as everyone goes his own way, as there are still things to be prepared for tomorrow's departure. The hustle and bustle of the market auction is over. Calm returns to the village of Nunge. The sun, still high in the sky, has forced the men to seek shade under the huts. Net repairs caused by the sharp coral reefs and struggling fish are just an excuse to meet up once again. The precise and professional movements of the fishermen, together with a well-organized work routine, will allow them to yield a good catch. Here, as well, the owner is not far away and oversees the workers' progress. As tomorrow morning, the nets will be ready once again to take to the sea for a new day's fishing.